Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be covering all the news about Battlefield 6 that came out in the past week. Basically, this video is going to be a news roundup of Battlefield 6, but we also have some interesting stuff about 2042 as well. So what we're going to talk about today is the first Firestorm gameplay that we have. We also have some footage of EOD bot that was provided by DICE, and we also have Season 1 leaked maps. So apparently we're going to get 3 maps in Season 1 of Battlefield 6. We've also got Battlefield 6 rated for intense violence and gore. We're going to take a look at that and see why that's important. And we also will not receive ray tracing for Battlefield 6, not on launch and not in near future, which in my opinion is a step in the right direction. And we're going to talk about why. And finally, jets of Battlefield 2042 have been nerfed. Finally, the attack jets that were added to the game with that surprise update, the Su-25 and the A-10 Warthog, are now nerfed and for good. So that's all we're going to talk about today. Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and see what we have here. Just keep in mind to go down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the video, the leaks, and everything that we're going to talk about in today's video. So we're going to start with leaked pictures of Eastwood map. According to one Battlefield Telegram channel, this map will be released in Season 1 along with Badlands and possibly a remake of Downtown from Battlefield Hardline. All 3 maps are located in Los Angeles, California. Just keep in mind that Season 1 does not mean on launch. That's not going to be on launch. When the first season of the game goes live, we're going to get 3 maps, according to the leaks: Eastwood, Badlands, and a remake of Downtown. Now, let's take a look at Eastwood here. As you can see, the map is tight. Obviously, this map isn't going to be anything big or, anything too fancy when it comes to vehicles. It looks to me something like Cairo or Iberian Offensive. When it comes to map size, there's a villa right in the middle of the map. Arguably, that's going to be the most important site right there. And probably it's going to be called Seaside, right? On the left side, we have some houses just near each other. And it's probably going to give us some intense CQB combat right there. Both there and on the east side of the map, but in the middle, probably things are going to be a little bit slower. We might have armored vehicles here as well, but I'm not really sure about that. Maybe this map is an infantry only map. However, we have leaked pictures of Badlands as well, but that was taken out of a video on YouTube probably. I'm not really sure where the video was originally published, but that was taken from a video which was basically taken from a content that was under NDA. So I can't really show the Badlands leaked pictures to you because the video is going to be taken down. But from what we've seen so far, Eastwood really feels like Battlefield Hardline. Gotta be honest about that. The vibe is all over the place, and it's going to be interesting to be able to play here. So we'll be waiting until that map actually drops. But now let's move on to a video basically just announcing the EOD bot to people who don't know it. So the EOD bot, you can repair, you can destroy vehicles, you can arm MCOMs, disarm them. Also, you can just drop pressure mines and you can destroy mines as well. Very interesting gadget, to be honest. And it's one of the old gadgets of Battlefield. One of the gadgets that actually shaped the sandbox of Battlefield. And for those who don't know, the EOD bot is a remote-controlled robot used to repair and damage vehicles, arm and disarm MCOMs, and drop or destroy mines for the engineer class. This entire video was basically recorded on Operation Firestorm, the new version of it that's coming to Battlefield 6. So basically, this is the first time that we are officially looking at Battlefield 6 Firestorm Remake map. And according to Battlefield Bulletin, Battlefield 6 has become the 3rd title in the Battlefield franchise after Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline to be rated for gore by the ESRB. It's also the 4th title after BF3, 4, and Hardline to be rated for intense violence. Now, this might sound, not really important to a lot of people, but in my opinion, the more gore and more intensity you have in a shooting game, the better the visuals and the better the feeling the outcome will be. In my opinion, Hardline actually did that with perfect accuracy. Battlefield 3 was also somewhat accurate when it comes to gore, intense violence, and those kind of stuff. But just keep in mind that Battlefield 1 is completely out of the entire thing. Battlefield 5 is out, 2042 is obviously out, and that shows how violent this game is going to be, especially in the single player campaign, because we've played the beta. It wasn't something, too crazy, but the campaign apparently is going to be filled with gore and filled with violence. So in my opinion, that's a good step because after all, we're playing a shooting game. right? There has to be some gore and there has to be some intensity right there. Also, according to Christian Bull, which is the technical director of Ripple Effect, Battlefield 6 is not going to have ray tracing now and in the near future, and that decision is made to focus on making sure it was performance for everyone else. Now, this is very interesting. Let's take a look at what Christian Bull has to say. He was interviewed by comicbook.com. His opinion on ray tracing for an online FPS game, in my opinion, is really spot on. So here's what he has to say. No, we're not going to have any ray tracing when the game launches, and we don't have any plans in the near future for it either. That was because we wanted to focus on performance. We wanted to make sure that all of our efforts was focused on making the game as optimized as possible for the default settings and the default users. So we just made the decision relatively early on that we weren't going to do ray tracing. And again, it was mostly so that we could focus on making sure it was performance for everyone else. Now, in my opinion, this is very important to keep in mind that literally nobody, even people who have RTX 5090s, they don't really care about ray tracing when it comes to an online FPS game. The only kind of people who actually care about these kind of stuff are those who are, posting YouTube videos saying Battlefield 6, RTX 5090, ultra settings, RTX on 4K 60 FPS. You know those kind of videos, right? Those people are the only people who actually care about ray tracing and all those kind of, fancy graphics settings. The average player just cares about more FPS, good visibility, and less drama. So in my opinion, that is a very good decision. I hope they actually come up with an optimized game on day one because that really matters. The beta was fine, but it was a beta after all. They have to get things straight and make things better for the day one release. And finally, let's go back to 2042 and see why A10 Warthog and the Su-25 TM Frogfoot got nerfed big time. Well, the simple answer is they were completely just overpowered and things had to be done to keep them at bay. So separately, we have also made some small changes to the power output of the A10 Warthog and the Su-25 TM Frogfoot. The following changes are now in effect. For the explosive cannon, blast damage lowered from 8 to 6.5 and blast radius reduced from 5.5 to only 3. For the regular cannon, maximum damage lowered from 16 to 12.5, minimum damage lowered from 12 to 8, damage falloff starts from 350 meters instead of 450 meters, damage falloff ends at 600 meters instead of 800 meters now. These changes are being made to the attack jets to ensure that things remain a fair and fun experience when a player is on the giving but also receiving end of the encounter. Our goal with jets is to have longer engagements with their targets and require the pilot to take more of an active and risky maneuver in order to successfully deliver a lethal blow, whilst also providing the target opportunity to react and encounter within an acceptable time frame. We'll continue to keep an eye on balance in this way as we look to the future. And there are a lot of people just crying over this in the comment section, believe it or not, but like it or not, there are so many people out there who single dive vehicles with the A10, and the A10 has been, overly just powerful. It just has too much power. Both the A10 and the Su-25. So they had it coming, Something had to be done about them, and now it's done. More likely, they can just destroy any vehicle in one dive in the game. That's not possible for them, and in my opinion, balance changes like this are needed whenever a new vehicle is coming to the game, because like it or not, this has been the trend for FPS games, but whenever they add a new weapon or a new vehicle, it has to be overpowered so people come and play, but after a while, things get balanced, and that's been the norm for FPS games. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this was somewhat informative. Again, do make sure to go down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the video, the leaks, and the jet nerfs that came to Battlefield 2042. And finally, guys, thank you all guys for watching. Until next time, stay cool.